These data types are related to non-unique code. These are all related to non-unique code. So that is English. And apart with that, we have for storing the max capacity, like for n bytes, maximum 2 GB of data we can able to store here. Maximum 2 GB of data we can able to store here. If it is a unique code, nchar, which is used for storing which is used for storing 4,000 characters here. 4,000 characters here. Only alphabets. Nchar. It is also nvarchar. Alphanumerical things. 4,000 characters we are going to be take. And if it is n, this are the different data types what we have for the text related thing. And we have some date and time related data types as well. Date and time data types. So date, we are going to be get the date in the form of YY, MM, DD format. YY, MM, DD format. It is going to be store the data in the form of this. And if it is a time, will be having like time like, just a minute. Now time is going to be get hours, minutes, seconds, and nanoseconds as well. Till 100 nanoseconds it is going to be get. Hours, minutes, seconds, and nanoseconds. Till 100 it is going to be get the nanoseconds. Okay, so like we have some data types. First we will see how we can able to create the table. Just I would like to create the employee table in the schema called emp create table emp dot. See, whenever we want to create the table in this particular schema, so that schema dot table name we have to use. Employee is a table name. I would like to give. Employee is the table name I would like to give. Create table schema dot table name, and here employee ID, I'll be taking it as integer. And next employee first name, I'll be taking the character size of 50. Last name 50 I'll take. Then I would like to take department ID. I would like to take it as varchar of 20. And we can able to store address or location of the employee. Just a few information, a few columns data we can take. Varchar of 100, depends on our requirement, we have to take the data. So now I'm going to be create the table. As of now, see, under tables in the object explorer we have tables. system tables, file tables, external tables, graph tables. This we have, this we have. So when we are creating this particular table, we'll be having our table, that is user defined table will be getting here. See, then our table is created successfully. If I refresh here, under tables, if we explore tables, we are going to be see our table emp.employee. emp.employee. Just I would like to modify one particular table. So for that we are going to be, I mean, the particular table, if you want to modify, we have alter command. About that we'll discuss. Alter command. Use it to add or remove column or columns from the table, to change or modify the data type of the specific table. We are going to be use this. See, to add a column or columns, to add a column or columns to the existing table, we have your alter table, that is table name. If you have a schema, including the schema dot table name, schema dot table name, add column 1 data type and size related to that, column 2 data type and the size related to that. How many number of columns we required, also we can able to create. This is a syntax for adding a column to the existing table. Adding a column to the existing table. Now, to modify the data type of the column in a table, just we are going to be use alter table, table name, modify column name, new data type, and size we can able to mention directly. To remove a specific column or columns from the table, alter table, drop column name or column names, whatever it may be, we can drop it. So drop, next is drop command we have. Use it to remove the table along with the data, that is, it will releases the memory what is allocated for what the table is allocated, like drop. See the syntax of this, drop table, table name. See, now we will see these concepts. Now I would like to add location, and what I would like to add is state. Just I would like to add state. Alter table emp.employee state varchar of 20, or just 30 I'll give. So here we forgot to give add. It is going to be add. Pointer table name. See, if you would like to add more than one column, so I would like to add manager ID, department, brackets. It is not going to be accept, just directly we are going to be execute. It is going to be add these particular uh, columns as well.
Okay.
As per this SQL server here, to mention the semicolon is also not mandatory as per this SSMS. So now if you see in this particular table, what are the columns we have? Employee ID, if you observe here, int, and it will allows the null. So that what we have to discuss about the constraints. Null is one of the constraint we have that we will discuss. See the column name, what we have taken here: employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, location, state, manager ID, department. These are all the columns we have in this particular table. Okay, fine. And if we are providing any size and as well as the constraints also, we can able to see here. So we have one predefined databases available in Microsoft for practicing. So I have taken that particular data here. See, just I'll show you. Else here, this is also one of the database we have, which I've downloaded from the Microsoft official website only for practicing. After downloading, I have loaded that particular database to here. See, sales customer, let me consider, and the columns what we have here. See, customer ID is a primary key. Customer ID is a primary key, and see the symbol also for that particular column has been changed. So we have the constraints like primary key, unique key, not null, check, default. These are all the constraints we have that we will discuss. The foreign key constraint as well. So customer ID of type integer and not null constraint, it is a primary key. And here person ID, store ID, it is a foreign key relationship that also we'll discuss, of type integer. Event territory ID, account number is varchar, and it is not null constraint. Not null constraint. So row GUID, that is also not null. Modified date, date time stamp we have given here, date and time. So if you see some other table, production work order. So what are the columns we have in that work order? Work order ID, integer is a data type, not null constraint, because that is a primary key constraint. That constraints and all we'll discuss. And order quantity, product ID, stock quantity, scrapped quantity, start date, end date, due date, all these different fields we have in this particular work order. These are all the different fields we have in the work order. So this is a way how we can able to create the table, and we can able to modify it. Suppose I would like to remove, one particular column, that is DPT, from our table. If you observe here, we have DPT. I would like to remove it. Alter. Only one column or two columns from the existing table analysis, we can use alter. Completely table we want to drop analysis, drop table name we have to use. Alter table emp.employee drop DPT. So here we no need to provide the data type of it because we are removing it. So we'll discuss this later about this particular one. As of now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me.